Katara begins Avatar: The Last Airbender as the daughter of a village chief in a country raided by the Fire Nation. The Southern Water Tribe was once great, and it will become great again by the events of the Legend of Korra. But for now, it has been decimated. The rebuilding of the South takes a lot of time, though the results are worth it. Varric, the most powerful businessman in the world for the last 3 seasons of The Legend of Korra, hails from the Southern Water Tribe. The capital city of the Southern Water Tribe may not be the size of Republic City or Ba Sing Se, but it's still a bustling metropolis. There are festivals and games and prizes, and there's a lot of money going in and out of the Southern Water Tribe. But that is 70 years in the future. For now, all is somber. All is desolate. All the adult men are gone. All that's left for those who remain is to wait and to hope for the best. Katara was not supposed to have this grand destiny. She was just supposed to be this ordinary caretaker of her village. She became special because she asserted her will on the destiny of the world. She bent the destiny of the world to accommodate her. She was able to gain entrance into this game of kings and nations because of her own passion. Stories like Sokka's story and Aang's story are about someone finally becoming the person they know they have to be, but don't really know how to become. They find the path is not as straightforward as they had initially believed, but they do eventually reach it. The other 3 members of Team Avatar, Katara, Zuko, and Toph, take a different kind of journey. They become people they were not supposed to become. People who go against the values instilled in them. Toph is supposed to be this fragile little blind girl who upholds the legacy of her family as a very prim and proper clan of the Earth Kingdom. Instead, she breaks away, traveling around the world with the Avatar, meeting all sorts of new people and helping topple a tyrannical empire. Ironically, this is actually better for her family in the long run. Instead of being associated with old money, the family becomes associated with progress, and so it is not left behind when the world starts advancing. After the events of Avatar: The Last Airbender, Toph's father becomes extremely successful in the new kind of world her daughter helped create, running a successful factory in what would later become Republic City. Toph's daughter Suyin carries on this legacy. She finds a spot in the middle of nowhere in the Earth Kingdom and says, "That's where I'm going to build my city." And she builds it. It's this gleaming, hyper-modern metropolis associated with progress and innovation. Katara, again, was not supposed to be more than a footnote in history. Her grandmother was at first hesitant to allow her to leave the village and associate with the Avatar. Her duties to her tribe came first. Somewhat similarly, Zuko was supposed to be his father's successor. His loyalties were supposed to be first and foremost to the family, and when that didn't work out, he was supposed to be this tragic prince, chasing the wrong things forever, doomed to spend his entire life in exile. Desperate to win his father's approval and never really sitting down and considering whether his father's approval is worth pursuing, never questioning the value systems instilled into him. But he saves himself from that path, and with Katara's help, he defeats Azula, becomes the new Fire Lord, and ushers in a new age of progress. Interactions between these 3, Zuko, Katara, and Toph, are some of my favorite interactions in the whole of Avatar: The Last Airbender. Zuko is strangely callous toward Toph when she attempts to talk about her own struggles with her family, even though his psyche has been defined by his struggles with his family for years. However, Toph nonetheless demonstrates empathy with him when he's worried about whether his uncle is going to accept him. Toph assures him that yes, Iroh will. She has met Iroh, and there is no one he cares more about than Zuko. Toph has not had a lot of people on her side, a lot of adults, I mean. So she knows how much it means to have someone who's there for you, who accepts you for you, who actually wants what's best for you, instead of trying to force you to conform to a very narrow view of what's right that fits societal expectations. Toph knows how important it is to have someone like Iroh in your corner, and so she really wants Zuko to be assured, to know that Iroh will help him. Again, that's not someone she has had. Now, Toph's relationship with Katara is similarly ambivalent. Katara is the mother of Team Avatar, not really by choice, but because she has to be. No one else is going to be the responsible one and fill that role, so it's up to her. This brings her into conflict with Toph, who again does not have the warmest feelings about her own parents because of how they mistreated her. So they fight for a lot of Season 2 and Season 3. Now, if Katara wanted to be mean, she could say that Toph would have died in the desert had it not been for Katara's help. They all would have, and that's absolutely true. But Katara does not want to humiliate Toph. She cares about Toph, and though Toph is reluctant to admit this, she knows that. She knows Katara cares about her. Aside from her interactions with Iroh, Toph's only relationship with a non-terrible parental figure is her relationship with Katara. Toph admits to Sokka in episode 307, The Runaway, that, unlike her parents, Katara cares about her, the real her. And at the end of that episode, Katara helps Toph send a letter to her parents. Katara is in her corner, even if Toph doesn't always see that. They fight, and maybe Katara is a little overbearing at times, but she genuinely wants what's best for Toph. How this relationship, despite the difficulties it poses, benefits Toph is clear, but how does it benefit Katara? Now, on the surface, this may seem like a ridiculous question. Katara is a selfless person. The group needs her help, so she helps them. On one level, it's as ridiculous to wonder about how these relationships benefit her as it is to wonder why a parent feeds and clothes their children instead of just rejecting them. Theoretically and optimally, there's real tenderness and commitment and satisfaction there, but even if there isn't, that doesn't matter. You do it because it's your duty. You do it because you have a responsibility. It's not like having a romantic relationship where you can and should leave if the relationship is not benefiting you. But that doesn't mean you can't also need someone to take care of you. Someone who cares about the real you and is willing to carry your burden so you can take a breath. Instead of who watches the watchers, this is who takes care of the caretakers. And for Katara, that's Zuko. Of all the members of Team Avatar, excluding Suki, who hardly interacts with Katara, Zuko is the only one who does not need Katara to take care of her. Zuko may have lost his mother, and that may be a major hole in his life, but he does not need to be mothered. He does not need a surrogate mother. Yes, he's confused. Yes, he doesn't always know what to do. Yes, he makes 1,000 mistakes before becoming Fire Lord, and those mistakes don't magically stop once he redeems himself. But he is a very mature 16-year-old. He's learned to take care of himself, body and soul, which is not something I can say for a lot of the other members of Team Avatar, especially Aang. Just off the top of my head, I can name a half dozen instances in Avatar The Last Airbender wherein Katara has to step in and calm down Aang because no one else can. Episode 103, The Southern Air Temple, when Aang learns about his people's demise and flies into the Avatar state. Episode 211, The Desert, wherein Aang flies into another rage after learning that the Sandbenders kidnapped and muzzled Appa, and so he starts destroying their crafts. Episode 317, The Ember Island Players, when he's so furious about the play not putting him and Katara together that he outright admits that were his chakras not blocked, he would be in the Avatar state. Episode 301, The Awakening, wherein Aang rushes off to fight the Fire Lord, despite Katara desperately trying to calm him down. And, surprise, surprise, it doesn't end well for him, and at the end of the episode, the others, but especially Katara, have to calm him down again. And then there's episode 309, Nightmares and Daydreams, wherein everyone else has prepared to face the Fire Lord, but Aang is a nervous wreck. He seems to think the burden is solely on him, even though it's not. So Katara has to sacrifice a lot of her own mental well-being to just try and get Aang to calm down. This sounds exhausting. I don't mean to insult Aang. Everyone needs help, and Aang is only 12 years old at the start of Avatar. We shouldn't expect him to have his entire life put together. But it does mean his relationship with Katara is a little asymmetric. Zuko, however, constantly wants to help Katara. As much as she speaks about the person who killed her mother, she never goes after him for a number of reasons, but most of all because she believes that Aang and Sokka won't approve, and this assumption is proven correct. But Zuko doesn't object. He doesn't judge her. He understands the catharsis she needs, and he does not believe this desire for revenge, or what Katara conceives of as a desire for revenge, means she's a cold-hearted person. She just wants closure, and this manifests itself as a desire for revenge. Although by the end of the episode 316, The Southern Raiders, Katara realizes that she did not really want revenge. Zuko understands her. He gives her relief, and he gives her empathy, and he chooses her out of everyone to fight with him against Azula in the final few episodes of the show. Of all the members of Team Avatar, there's no one he trusts more. Zutara would be right not only because they understand each other and not only because they have excellent chemistry, but also because the relationship would give the much overworked Katara the relief and satisfaction she has been missing throughout this entire show. It would finally help her achieve peace. So thank you all for watching. If you liked what you saw today, don't forget to like and comment and subscribe. Donate to my Patreon if you can and you want to see more videos like this. Keep watching Avatar The Last Airbender. It is a warm-hearted, thoughtful, empathetic show that's about a lot more than just the desires and mission of one kid. Aang's name might be in the title of the show, but this is not only about him. It's about an entire group of kids and teenagers struggling to make sense of a war-torn world and struggling to bring about a better age. It's relevant and powerful and lovely. I'm so glad it's as popular as it is. So anyway, tune in soon for my next analysis. It will be coming soon. And thank you all again. Adios, comrades.